here? All
Okay.
right. Hey, this is Sean. I started calling myself Club Fed Sean because there's RDAP Dan. I need a name, but anyways, I got a special guest today, guys. This is Larry. He's out of Las Vegas. Just called me. He's been watching my channel. He got sentenced to 18 months. He's going to Mendota camp. It's near Fresno. It's in the middle of California, where it's like 115 degrees in the summer, Larry. And anyways, Larry's gonna come on here. He's gonna tell you a story, what he went through, what he's looking to go through, and hopefully, Larry, you can help out the guy behind you that watches these videos, and you know what I
Right.
mean. We'll try to play this thing forward. So go ahead, Larry.
How y'all doing? My name's Larry, of course. And I was sentenced to 18 months. But let's go. Like, I got indicted. I didn't know that I was indicted. Everything like through this process has been like a magical mystery. So another guy that's in my case, he got pulled over for a regular traffic ticket. So he called me. He's like, "Hey, I've been in jail all weekend." And he in another state. Like, he's in another state. He called me. He like, "Hey, we indicted." Like, what do you mean we indicted? Me, you, and our other friend, you indicted. So then that's when the panic come in. It's like, you're looking out the window, you don't know what's going on. So then you
It's funny,
start,
indictment, man. Explain indictment to people because when I first heard the word about indicted, yeah, they had a trial and you weren't there. It's the grand jury, and you know.
basically, what happened is they investigate you. They take the evidence to a grand jury, and the grand jury confirms that you should be charged with XYZ,
and you
right?
don't and you don't get invited to see this grand jury, do you? We
You
don't know
don't
who they are. Jury of your peers. What?
You don't you don't know anything. No one has contacted you. You have not been questioned anything, but now you are indicted.
Yeah, yeah.
So after you're indicted, you go through the whole process of trying to figure out, and this is for someone that, doesn't have access to a channel like this. So you sit at home, naturally the first thing you're gonna do is like, okay, I'm about to lawyer up. But then you're gonna find out that getting a federal lawyer costs $25,000.
Oh yeah, they're not cheap.
And I don't know about you, Sean, but I advise against that because if they indict you, you're going to jail.
I do too. The ones that they appoint you work just as hard
Right.
in the feds, not in the states, but in the feds.
In the feds. So with my experience is when they indict you, you're going to jail. I can't tell you how long you're going, but if they indict you, you're going to jail. So my philosophy is if I'm not going to trial and I'm already going to jail, why am I going to spend $25,000 that can be for my wife and kids when the result is going to be the end of you taking a plea? So going through this process and everything matters you do from the point of turning yourself in. Like, did you take a plea fast enough or not?
Yeah.
That is going to be discussed at sentencing. Like, did he give you any like immediately? So what kind of worked out for me was that um when I turned myself in, they appointed me a lawyer, and the lawyer talked to me, and he was like, I hadn't said anything. Like, what do you think? Like, you know more than I do. He just read what was on the surface. And I was like, well, basically, this is white collar case. It wouldn't be that difficult if they look to see that I did XYZ. So I don't know. Like he said, well, do you want to, like I can't really go into that part, but do you want to
Gotcha.
basically do you want a meeting? You know what I mean? Let me just say, I'm
Right.
gonna say meeting. So I don't know. Like my advice is to plea as fast as you can. You're not gonna get out of it.
Yeah, you're not gonna win.
You're
And
not gonna
if you do win, they're coming back next year with more charges.
take
They
it.
don't quit. They don't quit.
No, no, they don't. So my advice would be to take the plea, and that's when I'm not gonna say that's when the games begin, but the process begins at that point.
Yeah, they call it a downward departure, right? You probably heard that term.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think that I'm talking about after you take a plea. Let's just say, okay, I did this shit. Tell them, excuse my
Yeah.
language. I want to.
No,
I
it's
want to.
okay, man. You can swear on this channel.
Okay. Okay. I want to take a plea. Nothing is going to move fast, even when you say that. Like, okay, you want to take a plea. That's
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
that.
So that's months away. Yeah. Right.
That's
They
months away.
drag it on, don't they? They drag it on, man.
Drag it on, and in the process, you got to deal with pretrial. That means you got to be calling a telephone number 2 times a month. You're gonna have to report, and you might be on drug testing. So, your life is going to be actively disrupted, and you still don't have answers. You don't know what's going on, and then these magical court dates, and then after you
preliminary hearing and and a bond hearing and you have 2 judges, right? You got the bond magistrate, or they're called magistrates, but you got your bond judge and then you got your sentencing judge, and you're going to see each one at different times. The bond judge is the one that keeps track on your pretrial, how you been, have you violated, did you come up dirty, shall I keep you out, and then you got the sentencing judge, which you probably don't see the sentencing judge that much, but those court, yeah. Does that sound kind of what happened to you?
That's exactly what happened. And then on top of that, you don't understand this stuff. You don't understand the sentencing guideline tables, levels, and all of that stuff.
Oh yeah, that's all confusing. Guidelines, category 1, 2, 3, 4, criminal history, offense level this, custody level that, might go into a camp, penitentiary, probation. All your friends and family say, man, they're not going to do none. It's been 2 years, you're on pretrial, you're going to get probation. They don't let you walk around. If they're going to send you to prison, you wouldn't be out like this, right? How many times have you heard that?
Man, listen, man. You have no uncertainty. You can look at that chart, look at that board, talk to your lawyer all you want. It's no certainty, And then on top of that, now you've taken a plea.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get sentenced, and then in your plea, your lawyer is gonna talk to you about your sentencing level, but then they're gonna talk to you about pre-sentence report. Right?
Yeah, PSR or PSI. It's called both, but
PSR, PSI, and it's gonna be somebody that contacts you, and basically they're gonna want to know your whole life story.
Yeah, everything. When you were a kid, what schools you went to, who you hung out with in elementary school. I mean, who you dated, your wife, if you cheated on her, stuff like that. All your personal stuff, man.
All of your personal stuff. And then the most important part about the PSI report was if you've been in any kind of trouble, and I don't care what it was, it could have been anything. It counts against whatever agreement that you and your lawyer worked out with prosecutors. This PSR report, if you've been in trouble, is going to show you that the things that you have in the past is going to raise your point level.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So let's just say you worked out a 15, sentencing level, Schedule A with the prosecutor, but you got prior drug charges, fighting in the club, domestic, whatever it is. Now, when that report come back, they're going to recommend an additional 9 points.
Yeah, they're going to add. They're going to add to it. They're going to. Oh, well, we didn't know you had this history. Yeah.
Right. So you looking at, you could possibly be looking at 18 months, but when that pre-sentence report come back, regardless of any deal that you made with the prosecutor, this report comes back and say, you know what, let's turn that 15 into a 24, and this is years off your life, so things get pretty intense because they don't want to come off the pre-sentence report, and then to me, you still playing magical games because you don't know when sentencing is. You don't know if your lawyer going to be able to work out anything with this pre-sentence report. You didn't know that the pre-sentence report could add points to your situation.
Right,
so now,
right. You
family.
thought
Now
you were taking a done deal like you do in the states. In a state court, you know, they wheel a deal, and
right.
you got 16 months. That's what you're gonna do. The judge agrees. Everybody agrees. Not
Yeah.
like that in the feds.
Yes. Okay. So now you're like this. It's no certainty. Your wife, your job, your personal things, how long you're gonna be gone. You know you're a human, so you're gonna be optimistic, like, yeah, and then you know what I used to do? I used to go and put US Department of Justice and just pick states in different areas. And I try to find somebody like, hey, let me go and find somebody that has a case like mine.
So you
And
can get an idea of what you're looking at, right? Yeah.
so you can get an idea. And then I used to reference that with my lawyer. Like, he got this. Why can't I get this?
Right.
Go tell me what this guy got. You know? Then after that, you pretty much your lawyer tell you, say, hey, I worked it out on your PSI, but now you've learned how to fluently work PACER. So he said he worked it out, but you don't see it in the PACER. I'm like, oh, you ain't work out nothing. I don't see nothing change. Yeah. But now after that, they set a sentencing date. So now you getting to the point where it's sentencing memos. So now the prosecutor has to send over what he thinks to the judge, and then your lawyer is gonna send over what he thinks to the judge, and you don't know what's gonna happen.
You don't know.
Don't know. Your PSI report is out there. They're gonna give you a report of what the prosecutor said, and they're gonna give you a report of what the lawyer said, but you don't know. And this is the most important part for me is that I learned. You would think that a judge would not read these things, because of your letters. When I say sentencing memo, these are all of the letters and things that you've gotten from family and friends and lawyers and prestigious people in your life, your community service, all of the things that you tried to do to show the judge before he sentenced you, because you had X amount of time out to do different things.
Yeah, and the judge wants to see, is this guy going to change? What's he done on pretrial? Because if this guy's not going to change and hasn't learned his lesson, I'm going to give him the max. But if the guy shows me he's worth saving, I'm giving him time. But you show me that there's some change in you, I won't give you that much time, right? The judge makes that call.
When I listen, the judge read every letter. He was very proficient in my life, like that PSR report.
Yeah, that's right. You were going to tell me about how he gave you the points for each letter. So get into that.
He read the letters, and I think I had 2 doctors and a lawyer. Those were the main letters that he referred to. He was more interested in the things that I said in my personal letter about what I was going to do in the future, what was the steps I was going to take to give these people their money back, and every single thing mattered. You see what I'm saying? Like the letters mattered. The letters mattered. Because when you at home, you like, man, that judge probably gonna throw this. He's not gonna read this stuff. No, he's gonna read it. He's gonna know about you. He's gonna know about your report. He's gonna read your personal letter. And after you go through the process, I think it was a 1 through 5 step process that he went through at sentencing. So he's gonna talk about the case. He's gonna let the lawyers speak. He's gonna let the prosecutor speak. I think that's step 1. Step 2, he's gonna talk about your letters and and then step 3, he's gonna let you speak. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then step 4 and 5, he's gonna go back to the PSI report about your criminal past. So any points, any major points will be adjusted right there. Because the prosecutor asks for something, the lawyer asks for something, and the PSI report asks for something. So that agreement that you made with that prosecutor is gonna get dealt with at this point right here, right?
Right.
So he's gonna make that. And the last thing is is that he's gonna let you speak at your sentencing. And
let's talk about that. Do you remember? I always tell people to speak from the heart, look them in the eye,
yes,
don't look down on the ground. And this is your chance to show the judge there's a real person right here, Your Honor. How did you
right.
do? How did you talk to your judge?
I don't care who you are at this very moment, you're going to be frightened. You can write everything that you want, but you're not going to read it. You're going to speak from the mind anyway, because after he goes to this step 1.4, I don't care who you are going to have fear.
Yes.
You are going to have fear. I don't care how tough you are. After they go through those 1 through 4, you're going to have fear. So you don't have a choice but to speak from the heart, because you're going to be like, you know what? All of a sudden, this just got really real.
Yeah.
Because, throughout the process, they wasn't talking about 18 months. They was talking about 35. They was talking about some other months. And I'm
yeah. Oh yeah.
I had to do this to Zoom. So I'm looking at my lawyer on the screen. I'm like, you ain't gonna say nothing? And I'm texting the whole time. I'm like this. I'm texting him like, hey, say something, do something, anything. But he just was like, just be patient. This is the process. But when he sentenced me, I'm grateful. I really am. I realized I did something I shouldn't have did. I wasn't thinking about the consequences when I did it.
No,
Um,
we never do. We don't think all the family and friends and everybody else it affects in your life when you make that choice, whatever crime you did, man. We don't think
right.
about it.
I can tell you this. By the time I got to sentencing, I was ready to be sentenced. I was ready to be over with. Like
Oh,
I'm tired of.
amen, amen to you on that. It was such a relief to me. He could have gave me 10 years, and I would have said thank you. I mean, it's over now. I can, you know.
And but then it's still not over. It's still magical things. Like, you know what I
No,
mean?
yeah,
Like, okay, I have just been told that I'm going to prison. And now, for your loved ones, like my wife, she took it the first 3 days. She just was, and that's when we found your channel. I was like, I have to figure out what I'm facing, not more so towards me, because I'm gonna find out anyway. I'm going,
right.
but for the people that's not going, it's, hey, come sit in here and watch this
Yeah,
with
what's
me.
it really like? There's not a lot out there on the camps and the lows.
You
Plenty of
know,
stuff for a penitentiary. That's scary.
about my channel, they was like, I hope they rape you. And I'm like, oh, God, don't say that. You know what I mean? I hope this happened to you. I hope they shank you. And then,
Yeah,
but then when I got to watching your channel and I got to watching RDAP,
yeah,
she was watching it. My wife actually, I told you yesterday, I let you speak to her. She actually
yeah.
found the channel. She was like, look, RDAP on a hiatus. You need to go and watch this. He keeping it a buck, keeping it real. So
Thank
I
you.
was like, yeah, I was like, it just was a relief. So after this process, I'm going to prison, right? But you don't know where you're going to prison, because it's supposed to be a magical letter coming in the mail.
Yeah, that designation letter. Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't come till a week before you go in.
Exactly. So now you don't know when you're going to jail. You don't know when this letter coming. So you're checking the mailbox every day. The whole house is checking the mailbox. Like, did you check
Yeah.
the mail? Did you get the mail? Did you get the mail? And we recently, a couple of days ago, got the letter, and we researched the and that's when I call you. We researched the place and how many people was there and what it's like. And I was like, I just kept watching more videos, but I was like, you know what? Let me call him. And then after I call, like, at least we got a plan. I still don't know what I'm gonna tell my kids, because I thought about telling them I'm going to the army. You know what I
Yeah, you're
mean?
gonna go do service for your country, or yeah,
Yeah, yeah, like that's the most difficult thing. Like, my 7 and my 5-year-old, they, you know, they ain't gonna take it too well, regardless wherever I'm going. But I've been trying to figure out. But see, this place doesn't have bars,
no fences, man, no fences.
so
I got to see Mendota on a. I found some. I went on some images and I saw that there's the the medium or whatever, the low next to it, but It's its own
Right.
little camp, and it's got no fences. It's got a baseball field and all that. I got to see. It's a small camp, but
Right.
there's no fences, nothing, man. You're gonna be just out in the country. You know what I mean? You won't feel like you're in prison there.
Right.
Most of the time at a camp, you're going to spend most of your days outside doing whatever you're doing. Working outside, playing softball outside, basketball outside. Everything's outside in the open in a big, not in a little yard. I mean, a big, giant open place, man. You know what I mean?
I'm glad to hear that because we didn't know. You watch these movies on TV. I'm like,
Yeah. And,
am I?
and the movie stars that go to these camps, they don't really talk about it. Martha Stewart never really told us what it's really like. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
There's just, and the feds don't allow cameras in there, so you really can't. You don't see any footage of in a especially a camp. But the feds
Right.
are all keep it all locked up, secret. They don't want any. They don't let the press in there, man. You know. So
Right.
there's not a lot of info out there on federal prison camps. So I'm doing my best to let you to tell the world. You
Right.
know.
That's. I mean, you've been helpful to me and my family. I can't. You really have. Because without these videos, like I don't know nothing about that area of the country. I don't know. I didn't know nothing. I'm just like, listen, let's get some literature on it. Let's find out how difficult it's gonna be, and then the time. Like, are you going to jail for 18 months, and the good time, and the programs or different things you might have, or jobs. I learned all of that on your channel.
Yeah, 18 months. You're gonna get you get 54 days for each year. But
Right.
so you got 3 months coming. Well, 54 times three, but let's call it 3 months, and you're gonna get you'll get 2 months halfway house at least. They might give you three. They're letting people go earlier. That's why there's only like 87 inmates as opposed. That's why it's a little empty right now. So you're
Right.
gonna get 2 or 3 months halfway house time, but you're not gonna be there a year. You know, you're gonna be in and out, and you're actually going to enjoy yourself once you realize that you are able to enjoy yourself. I know you don't want to hear that. You got your family and friends and all that, and I'm not there
Right.
to have fun. I'm there to do no. You will make friends. You can refuse to make friends all day, but you're going to make friends. I don't care.
Right.
Everybody's. I'm not gonna. I don't want to make any friends in prison. What do you know? It's gonna happen, man. Because these are guys just like you and me. These are your working class American average Joe prison. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. I'm glad to hear that. That makes things a whole lot more optimistic because my wife doesn't know anything about jail. You know what I mean? And she's just
Yeah.
like jail, and she watch all of them TV shows, Prison Break, and all that. So she's
Yeah.
like,
See,
"What's gonna
me and you could have lunch together. We could have our own table. We could sit at the table and have lunch. I can reach across and grab your milk. You know what I mean? If you let me. But and
right?
nobody's gonna. There's the Aryan Brotherhood's not gonna be there to beat me up for it. The Crips ain't gonna grab you and go. No, we are allowed to do that at a camp. We don't have those rules or there's no politics like that. I
Right.
mean, there are for the TV rooms, but there's a black TV room. But you say, hey, Sean, there's a game on tonight, man. I'm gonna save you a chair. Everybody in the
Right.
TV room said it's cool. I'll be in your TV room that night, and nobody's
Right.
gonna trip. But I got to be invited as a guest. But it's allowed. So
My wife, my wife had a question she wanted me to ask you before she
yeah.
just went through. How do I wash my clothes and detergent? Because we was looking on that commissary list, and I see like how does that work? Like that was her question. Believe out of everything, she's like,
Okay, so you're gonna have laundry machines, like 4 or 5. My building had 200 inmates, and we had 6 washers and 6 dryers. You buy Tide, and you buy softener, and you buy that on your commissary. They sell Tide, but it's powder. I don't know if they
right,
had the liquid. I think they also sold some kind of liquid lit stuff, but you're just going to use the machine like you normally would at home.
right,
Or there's a laundry facility, and you take your clothes in a like mesh bag, and you give them the bag, and they throw it in a big giant machine with 10 other bags. It spins around, and they'll wash your clothes there. Or if you got the money, you pay like $5 a week to the guy at the laundry, and he'll take your clothes out in a special machine that they have at their facility. He'll wash it, he'll fold it, he'll iron it, he'll bring it back to you. Then there's guys that actually will come to your cubicle, take your laundry twice a week, go wash it in the machine that's in the building, and they'll fold it and iron it for you, and they'll charge like $5 a week. So depending, if you got money or you don't money.
Like, how do you pay them? Like, you got cash
Tunas, man. Here, I'm gonna show you. I always keep a bag of tuna. You see this bag of tuna? Remember this. This costs $1.45. It ain't when you go to jail. Okay, this is the money in jail. Soups. These are only worth a quarter in a prison camp, and these are just snacks. They feed these to the birds, man.
Okay. Because I don't know, I heard you yesterday. You was like, hey, you pay him this. I'm like, man, listen. And I got some very valuable information because I was like, you're going to go in there and worry about buying clothes. But I'm looking at this list. It's going to be more than $360.
Yeah. So the way you can also put money on their books. You could have your wife put money on the laundry guy's books, and he'd do it that way. Or you can trade them meat. So they have carnitas is big. That's like $4 for a bag of carnitas. They have mussels in a bag. They have clams in a bag. They have oysters in a bag. They have mackerel in a bag, tuna in a bag, all kinds of meats on a bag. And that's what everybody trades for. You know what I mean? That's your money.
Right. Damn, I didn't know that. So when you talking about $5, I'm like, man. Hey.
Yeah. So when you get there, you're gonna want to buy it. So they got a limit, like you can only buy 48 packs of meat, assorted ones. So limit, you're only going to be able to buy maybe $200 worth of meat every week, every month. So and that's your spending money or your snack money. You use it for snacks. The tuna eventually does get eaten.
Right. So I was looking at that commissary sheet, and they got limits on things, like you can only buy 4 a week, or some stuff like that.
Right. Like they sell Pepsi or Coca-Cola. You can only get 2 12-packs at a time. So there's certain limits on things. Yeah.
Wow, man, this is not jail that I was thinking about.
We got there's ice machines, and you get Coke in a can, and and then if you got some extra money, you can pour a little rum in your Coke, but at the camp.
So I can work out. I can stay up all night, basically watch TV. I can go to the gym. I can have a job. I can have Cokes. I can eat tuna. I can wear gym shoes.
And man, there's lots of sports. There's, I don't know if you're into softball, but it's really big in the camps. It's almost like huh?
They have basketball?
Oh yeah, indoor and outdoor. Your camp had a gym. I saw a building that looks like a gym, but they also have outdoor basketball. But they have basketball tournaments. They have teams you join.
Wow.
Yeah, I played softball a couple of games. We had an over 50 team. Right. Anybody over 50?
I didn't know. If I wouldn't have came across your channel, I wouldn't have known none of this. None of it. And I think that you're doing a great service. I'm gonna advocate for your channel, and like I said, certain things I'm gonna do. Any questions do you have for me? Any questions, or because I got a million for you? I don't think we have long enough in this damn show for all the questions like that. And they come to me periodically, like,
yeah.
Do they have all the channels on the TV? How does that work?
Great question. Yeah, you get cable. They don't have HBO, but you'll get A&E and FX and USA and all that. Yeah, they got regular cable channels, and then they have their own movie channel, and so my facility they actually had a Netflix account, and they would run Netflix movies on all the TV cables, and they have like 3 movies a week, and then we had a movie night on Saturday nights. They turned this big chapel into a movie theater, and we all sit there on a big widescreen TV, and they had good movies that just came out, movies that are only 2 months old. Yeah. So questions for you. So do you have you figured out? Have you done a checklist of things that you need to bring with you? Have you watched any of my videos on like 10 things to know before you self-surrender? Are you?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I probably won't start that process until Monday. I've been kind of watching my wife
Yeah,
because she's up and down. It's like this morning, it was real bad. Like
yeah,
right now, she's going to buy things to cook dinner. We'll see
right.
how they go. I said I was going to give it a process, but and then she wants to have a conversation with my kids. So before I got into the technical stuff, I was just basically because I had a conversation with you about finances yesterday.
Oh
About
yeah, yeah.
my
On probation, that's a whole nother. Yeah,
oh, and those are the kind of things like I have to kind of fix now rather than waiting to get out because I don't got. But and let me ask you a question. I get out and they say I have to go to the probation officer for 3 days. Within
right.
3 days, within three
Yeah,
days,
within 72 hours, you need to report it. Yeah.
I need to report. So how does this work? Is it the same like pre-trial? Every time I want to go out of town, I gotta go through the court and ask the judge if I can travel. How does that
No,
work?
that's going to be your probation officer handles all that for you. At first, he's not going to. He's going to want you to stick around until he gets to know you. But normally, you can travel anywhere in the state that you live in, and then if you want to go out of state, uh, they'll let you depending on why you want to go. If it's to visit family, but the longer you're on probation, the longer leash they give you. So after about 6 months on probation is a norm. They're going to let you go. You want to go to New York for the weekend. They don't have a problem with it as long as you're doing good. And you never have to go to court. The only reason you would go to court on probation is if you come up with a dirty drug test or you violate, or like I told you, you go get a credit card and you didn't ask for permission, and they find out, hey, what's this? You got two credit cards you didn't even ask us about. Yo,
Right.
yo, it's $5 million. Like Larry, I was telling you yesterday. So back in my drug days, so I go get an 8 ball off G Money, right?
Right.
But I get paid, and I'm an addict, and I ain't gonna go pay G Money. So I'm gonna go to T Boy, and I'm gonna go buy a 16th on him for $50. But I owe G Money $200. G Money knows T Boy. I didn't know this. They find out. He called me up, motherfucker. You owe me $200. You outspending 50. That's my, you know what I mean. It ain't. They ain't happy.
That's correct.
So G Money gonna violate me,
Right.
and you know,
This is for your audience. If you watch this video, if you get indicted, you're going to go to jail. The faster you get through the process of taking your plea and having your family accept your situation, the faster it's looking like, the faster you can go ahead and get in there. Like I have been waiting to go to jail for 2 years. It has been
yeah,
annoying. Your life is on hold. You cannot plan anything. If you want to travel, you got to go through this
right.
big getting permission through the judge and explanation, and it's just been your life is on hold.
Yeah,
So
you can't start nothing. You can't start a career. You can't start any plans, future. And your wife, I bet you put your wife through hell. How many
mm,
times? How many times you wake up? How many times your wife didn't get no night sleep because of the stress of you on pretrial?
man, and now now that we know things are starting to get a little better with the help of you in this channel, I'm able to like explain stuff to her more clearly. Like these are the visitation. You're gonna have to fill this paperwork out to come visit. Uh um this is how much money I'm gonna be able to spend. This is where I'm gonna be. These are the hours I'm gonna be able to call. The email thing. I gotta go back over all your stuff. Let's do another video. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, sure, yeah,
I'm pretty sure I can think of at least because if she was here, she probably would stand right here. It was like, ask him this, ask him this, ask him this. You
yeah. I'm
know,
gonna work with you through all this, man. I'll prepare you for all this, man. So I want you to go in there. And when you get in there, you'll know everything to do.
right,
You're gonna. A lot of the guys I've worked with, they get in there and they email me back. Sean, it's everything you said it was. And I told you. It's like I told you. You go into a summer camp of prisons. Look, it's not a country club, okay? It
right,
ain't a country club, but
right,
in a way, it's club fed, and there's a big difference, okay?
right, right,
I'm,
right,
I'm not saying there's swimming pools and golf courses, nothing like that, right? But they
right,
have everything I've said they have. You're
right.
going to be just fine there. You're going to be comfortable there. Believe it or not, you will be able to relax for the first time since pretrial started. You can actually relax. You're
Right.
gonna you're going to be able to. You're gonna sleep good. You will.
pool. They got pool. I see they had pool. They had
Pool tables. Hey, they got band rooms, and they got PA mixers, microphones, and you can plug your MP3 in there, man. You can do rap, hip hop, you can do rock bands, whatever. They got music rooms. They got all that stuff. You'll hook
so.
up with guys, and you
So
know
I'm
when
gonna go over this commissary thing with you
yeah.
because I don't know the best microphones to get, and I don't know the best MP3 player. And how am I gonna put music on the MP3 player?
So every TV room has these little computer terminals that you're going to email home with, but the terminals also have a music library. It costs about $2 a song, and they have about 10,000 songs on. They have everything you could think of, but it comes out of your the money that's on your account. It won't affect your commissary spending limit, but whatever money you have on your prison bank account, it's going to cost you $2 a song, and you plug your MP3 player into the terminal, and you pick the song, and it downloads it into the MP3. And then every 2 weeks, you have to plug your MP3 in there, and you have to put your password and your username in there and reapprove it. That's in case it gets stolen or lost. Nobody else can use it. So every 2 weeks, it has to be reactivated. If that makes any sense.
That makes sense. That make a lot of sense.
And it also has to be charged. And all the TV rooms have little chargers, just like a cell phone charger. And
So
you'll see
what are the batteries for?
the batteries for radios.
So you got radios, then you got MP3 players.
Yeah, the radios, the MP3s have you charge them like a cell phone, but the radios have to have batteries.
And the radios pick up the local radio stations.
Yeah, they do AM and FM. The MP3 player has an FM radio, but it doesn't have AM.
So I ain't getting that radio then. I just stick with the MP3 player.
Yeah, and the FM frequency for the TV rooms. Some TV rooms you don't need a headphones to hear the TV. Some you do. It just depends if they turn it on or not. So there's some prisons if you can't afford that $100 MP3 player, you're not going to be able to watch TV. But there's always used radios for sale. You can buy used radio for like $10 off. Like 4 tunas for a used radio. You got to supply them your own batteries. Um,
So what headphones? What's the best headphones in there to
Oh
get?
man, they're all rip off, man. I mean, they'll sell you. It'll say Sony, but you get it, man. It's like it's 5 times the price of a normal set of headphones. Every prison's they change. They'll have 2 or 3 brands.
Right.
They're all pretty bad, man. If you can afford, usually the most expensive one is going to be the best. But yeah,
Okay.
you can buy earbuds are like $10. $10.80. It's the same ones I buy at the 99-cent only store. The exact same brand. And they want
Right.
$10 for them. So
Wow. Oh, well, I don't know. They're telling me when I go that if I don't get there by a certain time that I might have to go into some sort of quarantine for 14 days because I'm opting out of taking that shot. So,
here's the thing. Yeah, if you refuse to be vaccinated, you're going to
right.
be a quarantine inmate. You're not going to be allowed privileges to go to the gym or maybe even a chow hall. You're basically going to be um, uh, in you're going to have to stay in a quarantine range. Yeah, man, you're going to have to make that choice. You're not going to have any of those privileges if you refuse that shot.
Well, for how long? For 2 weeks?
The whole time you're there. If you refuse the shot, the vaccination thing, yeah, until they change their policy, yeah, you're going to be sent to your room. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't want to. They don't want to get that shot.
I
Um,
ain't getting that shot. So that's my biggest dilemma. Like I'm not getting the shot. So, well, I have to see. Like
I mean, normally you got to test negative twice, and at 10 days apart, you got to have a negative test.
right.
But when they get their batch, every prison, like every month, they're going to give them, here's 50 batches of the shot for your new inmates. And if you refuse to get vaccinated, then you're going to be on quarantine status. And you're not going to have they might not let you in the gym to work out with people. They might, I mean, You can't take classes. They don't want you sitting with the other inmates. And that's probably going to change as all the states are opening up and the masks are coming off now. But
Right.
right now, that's the policy right now. It might change next month. That's something you got to consider, man. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to get the shot or not get the shot.
Yeah,
I got the shot, and I didn't want to get the shot, but I got the shot. And
so I don't know. I gotta think about it. I'm gonna talk to her about it. I might get the first one and don't get the second one. Get the first one, go in there and get my privileges, and that way I ain't gotta. I heard that the second one is the one that jammed you up pretty bad. The guy
I,
that's the guy, one of the people that's in my case, he got the shots. The second one, he was in the hospital. I get his date pushed back. He had blood clots in his brain.
I've been hearing stuff like that. I
Yeah,
got the Johnson and Johnson. It's a one-time shot. If
yeah,
you could find that one, and I didn't have a problem with it.
yeah. So I'll figure it out. I think I'm more opting towards Pfizer though. That's the one I really hadn't heard anything.
Right, right.
But I don't know, man. Let's do it again. I'm pretty sure I have a million more questions.
Okay.
And then call me when you get off here.
Yeah, all right. I'll do that, man. Any last words for the audience out there?
Um, Pass it along. I hope that the things that I'm telling you I went through help you in your journey. Plea fast. Don't lie. Uh, do not get unless you plan on going to trial and fighting to the death. Do not get a paid lawyer. You're wasting your family's money. You're an idiot if you do that because you're gonna plead, and if you prolong this process, you're gonna pay for it at sentencing. Um, I don't know. Like, try to avoid getting indicted. It's probably the main thing. but if you do get indicted, you're going to jail. I don't know. I can't put it no other way.
Yeah, yeah.
How long you go to jail depends upon you and the work you put in. Your letters, your community service, your plans, your you writing a letter, but you're speaking from the heart. So it's kind of good for you to write it down so you can remember it. If you go to court and you stand there with a letter, that's not considered as being sincere.
Right.
Trust me, like a lot of people, I got a lot of haters, so they was watching and they was like, "We seen you crying." I was like, "You ain't in this situation I'm in. Did you not hear them say 50 to 61 months? Did you not hear?" Yeah, I'm crying. I wanted
Yeah,
to,
I'm crying. You got a problem with a man crying today? In today's world, a man can't cry.
I wanted to holler. You know what I mean? But it all worked out. I'm going to a camp, and man, Sean has helped me out. Donate to the channel, subscribe, send people. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. And I am coming back a bunch of more time. Trust me, because my wife's gonna make me. She got 1,000 questions.
All right. You bring your wife on too, man.
I am. I think the next one I'm gonna have her sitting right here.
There you go. Have her questions out, and we'll cover them, man.
Appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, man. I'll
All
call you. All right. Thanks.
right.